Hi guys. I'm gonna talk to you about the different breeds of dogs. Okay. Apparently, we're gonna talk about. There's about 180 breeds of dogs, and there's one breed. Okay. The Rottweiler is a breed of dog. It's used as a powerful dog. It's also used in guard dogs training. It's also a dog you see in the police force. Sometimes they're service dogs. Yes, Rottweilers can be used as service dogs. They need special training for that. But yeah, Rottweilers are a very powerful dog. They need a firm owner, and you have to be willing to train them and start at an early age and buy them off a respectable breeder from the kennel club on where you live. Yes, it has to be a registered kennel club qualified breeder. They have to know about the breed. You have to really educate yourself about Rottweilers. But yeah, they're a well behaved dog is if they're brought up properly and trained properly and taught properly, and they have to be taught at an early age. And they're not for everyone, and certainly not young children. You have to train them and supervise them around kids. Not that there's another breed of dog, Cocker Spaniels. There's the American Cocker Spaniel and English. The English Cocker Spaniels and American. They're a hunting breed of dog, so they get stubborn, but they won't run away. It's the Beagle. If you let a Beagle off the leash, you won't see it again because once they scent something, they follow it. They have a strong scent. They're also used in scent hound training. Their nose is very, very sniffy. I mean, you see them go. They just see something and they go. They won't come back, though, if you let them off the leash. Beagles aren't the kind of dogs you would let off the leash, and certainly not a beagle. Basset hounds, they are a hound dog. They're known as um, short hound dog. They're a medium breed. They're short little legs, but they have trouble pulling themselves up. I think they suffer hip problems. I'm not sure, but I don't have a hound dog. I have a yellow lab. They're a great dog. They're perfect. They're easy to train. They're easier than a Rottweiler to train. You can train them better, but I'm not going to compare dogs because. I do recommend Yellow Lab, Golden Retrievers if you have young children. A Golden Retriever, a Bernese Mountain Dog, even a Great Pyrenees, but that's more if you want a guard dog or you have break ins and you need a guard dog. They're great for guarding. Um, Another breed of dog is a Great Dane. But you have to watch Great Danes around children. But they're very clumsy dogs. They're gentle giants. Some people think they're great with children, but that's because they were raised properly. You have to raise them properly, and they have to be brought up right, and you have to buy them from a respectable breeder. I never recommend buying a dog off a puppy mill. You don't know what you're getting from a puppy mill. It could be a mixed breed. It's not good. It's unhealthy. And first of all, a dog from a puppy mill may be neurotic. It may need like special kind of care. It's a kind of dog I don't recommend to get puppy mill dogs because they're very fearful dogs and it could lead to fear aggression, and I don't recommend that. I'm going to tell you a story about my Cocker Spaniel I had before I had my dog Elvira. I'm going to tell you the story of my Cocker Spaniel, but we're not going to say the name because names are not important. So I had a Cocker Spaniel once. He was a beautiful Cocker Spaniel. He had freckles. And he had those floppy sad eyes and the floppy ears, and he just brought to life. He helped my depression. It was great. I bought him from a pet store. I wasn't told about his parents or temperament, so I didn't know anything about it. But my dad bought him for me. And I loved him. I brought him home and he was great. 9 weeks I bought him. I trained him. He was very well trained since I trained him. And then one day I go for a walk in a park and he gets loose and a car crashes into him. And his leg was bleeding. I had to carry him home. And I was very upset. I didn't know what to think. Is he going to make it? So we took him to the vet. And he started fearing little red wagons. At first I thought, okay, it's a bit fearful. So I kept him away from kids. I just had to tell people not to pet him. Or we had to cross the road. Usually with a dog you cross the road. I thought nothing of it. And then I moved away. 2000 and I think 5 or so. Moved away. And then suddenly he started fearing things. I thought, okay, nothing of it. It's just he's fearful. So I just said, please don't pet my dog. She's in training. That's all I had to say. I didn't want to get in an argument and explain my story about why. Okay. And some people got offensive over it. But you're always going to get that. You just have to learn to say no. So, I'm walking my dog. And then one night, me and my dog are on a walk and we hear a scraping noise and we saw nothing there. So me and my dog just ran back home, locked the door, and kept the door closed. I didn't bother looking out the window just in case that scraping noise came back, but it was nothing. And also it was dark and I'm a bit darkophobic. So I don't know. I feared the dark, let's say. So I started dreading walks, but I still went for a walk with my dog because he was my dog and I had to walk him. And one day, my dad mentioned to me he bit 12 dozen men. And then my dad told me he had to be put to sleep. That was the worst that could happen. I was about to cry. And Sasha was his friend. And then we took him to the vet. They wouldn't let me see him in the vet. They just took him in the vet. They didn't tell me to come in with me. I wasn't allowed to see him. So he died. And I didn't get to see him. And that really depressed me. I was depressed for quite a long time since that happened. And I've never talked about it with people because it's really distraughted me and it's caused me PTSD a bit. Because he was my friend and he helped my depression and he didn't let anyone bully me. He was like there for me. It was almost like he knew me. It made me sad. But I couldn't keep him because he was a liability and he started biting kids. And the first incident he bit was a young child went in my garage. I told the child, "You have to go home." I closed the garage door. I didn't mean to. I didn't know the child was in there. My dog Cracker, I think that's what his name was, Cracker, the Cocker Spaniel, ran and bit the kid. I'm not allowed to say who I am. I just can't. I can only say the dog's name, Cracker, because that's the name I gave him. Because I used to watch a show called that. This really disturbed me. I didn't want to tell people, but now I'm sharing my story because I have the courage to do this. This might help me feel a little better. So, at first he bit a young child, and then she went home to tell her mom, and then her mom got nasty with me. I'm not allowed to say who, it's confidentiality, and names aren't allowed, but the name of the dog is only allowed because I decided to. By the way, if you ask, that's who it was. It was a Cocker Spaniel, an English Cocker Spaniel, and freckles. He looked English too with his little freckles. But the thing was, sorry about that. I had music in the background. I'm sorry. Um, at that time I was shocked. I had my Bernese Mountain Dog, which helped me a bit. But then my Bernese Mountain Dog stopped going in cars for a while ever since we put the dog to sleep. The other dog to sleep. And it was sad because I had to comfort the other dog, who was friends with the dog I put to sleep. Cracker, his name was. So I didn't know what to put of it. I was crying that night. I didn't sleep. I had trouble sleeping. I was crying putting this stuff. I didn't really get over it. And I didn't want to tell people that in case they bully me. It really got to me to say that. It happens. So after that, we went to Conroy Pit. We thought nothing of it. Then this boy comes behind us and behind Cracker, and Cracker was crabbed, and then he bit the boy. And the mother of the boy asked if we had his rabies shot, and my dad had to explain. So the city of Ottawa came to the door and said I had to muzzle my dog. But I'm not allowed to say where I was. Conroy Pit is public, so that's okay. It's not indicating where I was. Not usually. I hope not. Yeah. Then I had to put Cracker on house arrest and to wear a muzzle. He hated it. He was trying to take it off. He didn't want it on. I didn't want it for him, but the law said he had to wear it or they would take him away. Okay. The second incident after that, it was the third incident after that, he bit a man walking a baby in a pram. And then that prompted a report. And then he started nipping kids and he started nipping people. I thought, no, nothing of it. And then it got to the point he bit 12 dozen men. And then we had to euthanize him because he was a liability. We would have gotten in trouble if we kept him. Or God forbid he bites someone with diabetes or a young child. Or someone crabbed. So I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I'm just like minding my own business. Alright? can't explain this, okay? Don't ask, okay? So Cracker had to go to the vet and be put down to sleep, and I had to say goodbye to him. But they wouldn't let me in the room with him. So he passed away without me, and now he's in heaven. But I still don't forget that day. I thought, oh my God, maybe I would have kept him. Maybe he wouldn't become that way. But ever since the car hit him, it really psychologically damaged him. Like, seriously, he got severely injured by it. And the woman who hit him just drove off, did nothing. No apologetic, nothing. This is it. You hit a dog, you should take responsibility. At least take it to the vet, say you're sorry, but this is it. This woman didn't. I was very angry at the woman. I felt like swearing, but I was in a public street. And I'm like, no, I can't swear in a public street. But if it wasn't and I was allowed, I would have said some harsh words, let's say. It really upset me because it wasn't like Cracker. He became out of character. And then after that, I always remember that he's in my heart and he's always going to be around me. And his angel is going to watch over me. And I know that. Because everyone has a guardian angel. It could be a dog, it could be a child, it could be a grandparent, it could be anyone. A guardian angel is always watching you. You may not see it, but it's always watching you. So you always have a guardian angel. I believe in them. I think they're everywhere. Not everyone can see them, but some people can. They won't hurt you. They're friendly. They're not something to fear. They protect you from harm or any kind of evil. They're good. They're good. You can have them around you. They're not going to hurt you. They won't arrest you. They won't do anything to you. They're just there for you if something happened. They don't bring out their wings until salvation. Like, if something like salvation happened, they bring out their wings. But usually they come in human form. A man or something. Or they could be a woman. They could be anyone. They could be a child. I don't know. I just sense they're around. You get this warm feeling that something is protecting you. Even though you feel angry, something is protecting you. Like some godly being or something sent from heaven or the heavens, whatever. We're talking about Cracker. And after he was put to sleep, I felt really depressed. I had severe depression. It got to the point I had to call my dad and he had to put me on some form of medication. I don't know what kind. Antidepressants. I didn't get over his death. It was like making me really depressed. It was like life without him. It was hard on me, you know. Then I figured life goes on, I guess. This is a true story, by the way. I don't make this up. I have true confidence that I'll find a story for story time.